Hey, what's up, y'all? This is new and different. We are doing an AMA. This is an unpaid AMA, but we got money for you guys. We got $100 to give away. Uh, Word on the street is 100 of you already RSVP'd, so let's try to get it. Let's try to get it up there. What do we got? 20 to start. Not bad. Who is this? Castino Arts. We deliver your AMA hosting with ease, bro. Take the wheel, Jesus. You want to run this shit? I mean, it's in the bio, bro. Chill DeFi is up here. What's up?
What's going on, my man? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm loving this Spaceship X, bro. I've been in it. We're telling everybody about it today, but I've been killing it over there all fucking week.
Hey, talk to him, bro. Tell him the APRs, bro. Tell him about the APRs.
They've been coming down, which is great. We love it. We love to see people finding out, coming over. We love to see the TVL going over 200,000. Um, what am I making? I'm making like 4% a day on X, and I think I'm making like 8 or 9 on X share USD. Not bad, not bad at all.
Just a little high APR to get him in the door, before the sustainability hits. So get it while it's good because it won't last forever.
This is what we try and tell them. Um, Maybe everybody isn't here every day, but we'll just keep saying it every day until everybody gets it. There's there's no rules to this shit. This is DeFi, but there are patterns. So it ain't hard to tell. Incentivizing, we're incentivizing liquidity providing, which today is a funny day, right? Today's a funny day to be uh, talking liquidity providing because it seems like today is a day where people are capitulating more than anything else. But people that stick around, I think they're gonna, I think they're gonna feel pretty good about themselves. I mean, maybe I'm just pumping myself full of copium. I don't know. You guys can tell me whatever you want. There's a microphone button in the bottom left hand corner of your screen. Go ahead. I dare you. NFT God is up here. What's up, bro? Tough crowd.
Man, we got a lot in here, bro. I appreciate first of all appreciate you putting this on for us. Appreciate you putting this spaces together and having us up here, bro. So
Yeah, man. Like, I'm happy to do it. I am. It's funny because people are probably confused as fuck right now. Like, they're like, hold on a second. How did they get him to run an AMA uh, for free at 11:30? They just asked, bro. That's all you got to do.
man, we just try to give value, man. So we know that what we're bringing to the table is something that could benefit the community. Like Alpha was saying earlier, he's been in it. He's been enjoying the APRs here so far. So I'm sure he was excited and ready to bring this to the community too. Just again, like he was mentioning, no rules in DeFi. There's opportunities everywhere. So it's all about knowing if the opportunity is there or not. So we're here to just kind of showcase what we have, what we bring to the table, and we hope you guys enjoy what you hear. But you let me know, Alpha, whenever you want us to get started, or if you want to just ask questions, you let me know, and and we can kind of go from there.
Yeah, man. What do we got here? 40 people. I got one question for them. Uh, what the fuck are you doing? Tweet out the room. That's all you're supposed to do. That's literally the only thing that we're gonna ask you to do today. So take care of it now, and I'll stop yelling at you because we're trying to have a nice time in here. It's a rough day for a lot of people. We had a great space this morning. Coffee and Crow, the vibes were fucking through the roof. So we're gonna try and keep that same energy. I'm sure people down there have questions. Yeah, I got to start by saying I appreciate you putting me onto this shit. Like if it wasn't uh, for you guys reaching out about the AMA, um, I wouldn't have known what was going on. And it's all about first one in the pool. I mean, when it comes down to it, uh, we're all still early, so that goes for everybody. Um, but yeah, man, like when people that I know and trust tell me about things, I feel blessed because it's not every day. And um, I see high APR numbers everywhere, but I don't jump into everything because, like we're saying, you you don't you don't know what you're getting into unless you know what you're getting into, and how many of us really do, honestly. Um, we take what we can get, and we're grateful for the relationships that we've built here, because um, that's really what creates the value in essence. um, David's up here. Welcome.
Hey, shout out to Meerhoff and Mince in the audience, bro. Appreciate you guys for coming through, man.
Oh hell yeah, look at this crowd, man. Jim Star, Legion.
Defiant,
Yes
Omega.
sir. Based, bullish.
I saw Crolin was trolling earlier too. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, man, we all play our parts here. Crowlin, if he's not in here first laughing at me, making me feel self-conscious, then it is not a day in crypto. Every single space. So I gotta give it up for my day ones in here, man. Crolin's been here the whole time, It's like it's really the most important thing. I feel like people are worried on ETH and Solana, like seeing a lot of talk today that it sounds like they're worried uh everyone's really gonna leave. It's it's funny.
I think ETH is I think users will, at least retail will definitely leave ETH. I don't know if you heard of Zen Protocol. Have you heard of that before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was minting Zen the other day and gas went up to like $50 off of like just the Zen launch. And I'm like, this is going to bother retail. Like this is a bear market. That's barely any demand. I mean, I think, Q1, Q2 next year, when, demand is coming back, the macro has cleared, gas is going straight back up to like, you know, near or if not triple digits. And that's not gonna be fun for anyone unless you're like an institution with like billions of dollars like at your disposal. So I think ETH will like lose retail, but because of institutions, like the amount of money that they have, I don't think the market caps, like the volume is going to change. It'll probably even go up if anything. Um, but yeah,
Which is
I
all
don't know,
great
man.
for ETH, right? Because now uh post post merge proof of stake, we're going like anything over 16 gwei is deflationary. If we're talking like 240 like we used to, I mean we're burning all the ETH. So that's gonna have some positive effects on price action, which again makes gas more expensive.
That's the and that's the funny part, bro. Like the prices, they're gonna lose users, but the price is still gonna go up just by the nature of like the whole burning mechanism. Like it's a great trade. It's a great trade. I don't know if you ever heard of the billionaire, frick, what's his name? I just lost his name. He was just talking with Raul Paul on Real Vision. Um, dude, billionaire black guy, bro. He writes articles and stuff every so often. But basically, like, he's like a billionaire trader. Like, like guys make huge amounts of money and they just like
Kanye
throw it
West.
all.
Oh no, sorry.
Kanye. It was Kanye. Oh man. Um, but yeah, he's a trader, man, still. He doesn't like go too risk on, but like he's trading, he's looking at ETH like, yo, like this is an obvious trade. Like this is something that everyone should get into. It's literally burning more than it's creating, like basic supply demand.
Yeah. So if you take all the emotion out of it, which is really all anybody's dealing with today, right? Like we can call it TA, but it's really just looking at a chart and feeling emotional. I mean, we're not really analyzing today. It's just everything's red, so people feel bad, and they react. Humans are fickle beings, man. Like we do shit that we just can't really explain. But selling at the bottom is always a bad idea.
One thing that I heard the other day was like everyone's saying that, oh well, we're gonna go down more. Well, we have more upside than downside, right? And if you just DCA at like decent intervals, like let's just call it 1 month, just throwing that out there as an example. You DCA once a month this year, you would have bought 12 times per asset, right? So if you're starting a DCA right now, who cares if we go down another 5 to 10, maybe even 15%? Like your DCA will cover all of that. So that's why I've literally been telling everyone, like, yo, like DCA as much as you can. I know for my own plan, it's a little bit different because I have different kind of risk on assets. But if you want to just stay simple, not take on too much risk, man, just DCA and call it a day. DCA and chill.
Bars, bars, DCA and call it a day. It's a mindset. I suck at it, you know. Um, I could pretend like I DCA, but I don't. I really don't. I just kind of like I'm all over the place. But I feel like my crow bag is getting bigger. I feel like I'm doing things right. Um, I threw a lot of my poly MMF into XShare, and honestly, I feel like it kind of saved my ass because we were at 45 when I brought it over, and now we're at 32.
Yeah,
Could be
I know
could
you
be
gave
luck.
me a lot of people gave me a hard time with the move recently, bro. I know it was like tough to hear the HKN move. Uh yeah, I know. It's but I'm not like turning my back on anyone. No, I'm not turning my back on the borough. Like I'm still like waist deep in it. Like I went from chest deep to like waist deep. That's all.
Yeah, man, and I appreciate that honestly because I was too deep in MMF. I really was, and I think um, branching out is just good for everybody, and it's good for MMF's community to not don't be a don't be a maxi. I really don't think that's a good idea in DeFi. I mean, this is DeFi. We're not attaching ourselves to any one thing. Like this is growing way too fast. So MMF is great. Yes, it's down 90%. It's still great. Um, they're doing a they're doing so much stuff, man. People are even loving the card game that everyone was talking shit about. So I'm here for all of it, bro. And I keep it 100 in here with everybody because I don't know what else to do. I just tell them the moves that I've been making, and sometimes they should do the opposite. But like I've been swapped. Like when X share was 1-to-1 with MMF, that was a no brainer. I'm going MMF to X share. But when X share is at fucking 1.4, 1.44, I'm swapping it back. I'm swapping it back and I'm throwing it where it was. And then I'll come back again. You know, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. That's just what I'm doing. What's up,
Now,
Jimmy?
Hey yo, Alpha, how's it going? Um, this is an awkward time for you to be here today, so things must be really good for you. And I'm happy that you're gonna make it 3 a day now today. Um, I have a few questions for spaceship. Um, you know, we're all looking to go to the moon, so we'll be looking for a reliable ride. And yeah, can you please tell me more about your rebate? I'm seeing some very high, juicy rebates on the trading fees. Where is this money going to come from? And that's my first question. And I also see you have a lovely referral program because that's something that people don't really projects don't really take advantage of. The best project so far that used a referral was I think was the Steakhouse offer. So, and that worked out very well for people. So, I'd just like you to explain, that first of all, the 50% rebate on the trading fees, and then how the referral program is going to work. Thank you very much.
hey, bro, appreciate the question. Thomas, yeah, jump on in, bro.
Hello guys. I'm Thomas from SpaceShipX. Yeah. So first of all, I want to say that I really appreciate for Alpha to invite us here. So it's such an opportunity. So and and another thing is I have to say my English is my second language. So and I'm also bad at presenting in front of people. So I hope you guys understand. So um, about the question, yeah. So you have asked about the rebates, right? The rebate. Can you raise your question again a bit slowly?
Yeah, I see you have 50 rebates on the trading fees and in USDC. Um, is that something that will be sustainable, or that's only going to be for, as Alpha likes to say, people that get into the pool first, you know? And or are we going to see the whole rebate thing not being sustainable, as in um, not being, people that come in late won't be able to take advantage, or when you get to a certain threshold, you won't get that 50% rebate in USDC.
I'm learning as we go here. So there's a 50% rebate on trading fees. Y'all gotta catch me up. I feel like a dummy.
Um, uh, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of not understand about the question a bit. You said about the rebate trading fee, right?
Yeah,
I
Jimmy,
don't.
where are you seeing this 50% thing?
Are you
I'm
talking about the Mad Mex referral?
because
Or
I'm leaving my mic on here. I'm scrolling the website because I feel like I missed something.
You mean about the referral link I put in the trade leverage, right? So
I
it's
think that's what he's referring to. Yeah, Mad
oh
Mex.
yeah, actually I just put it there, and currently we have about 200,000. I have referred about $200,000 in trading volume and get a $10 rebate, and I really don't know what to do about it.
Yeah, so the Mad Mex is more like it's like a third party thing. So, that's MMF's product. They you get the rebates through MMF. So it's not a spaceship X you know made product. It's the trade leverage product is Mad Mex from MMF.
Oh, I
So
get it now. All right,
yeah,
cool. We're
yeah.
talking Mad Max. I got you.
Mm-hmm. And to answer your question too about the APRs, because me and Alpha were talking about this like when we first hopped on the space, right? You basically get it while the getting is good. Typically, when projects first launch, they got a higher APR to attract users, and obviously that's going to go down over the course of time. So obviously not sustainable to keep it high these long for long periods. So we just kind of do that up front, get people in the door, and then it'll start going down over time. Beyond that, though, liquidity mining is where the APRs, the rewards are coming from right now. So we'll mine 100 million total supply of X share. It'll be mined in about a year or so, and then the project will go to it'll transform into a completely community driven project. So we will have things like governance proposals and stuff like that, whether that be to add synthetic assets, whether that be to change the APRs or choose projects that they want to launch, or there's so many different things that you'll be able to vote on through the project for the project. But again, it'll be completely community driven. Good thing is it's only 100 million total supply, so it's not something that would just inflate away your value. Just to put that into perspective, there are other tokens that we interact with on a daily. Many of us are familiar with MMF. Their total supply is 500 million, right? So the sell pressure from 500 million worth of token emissions versus 100 million worth of sustainable rewards over the course of a year, that's a lot different. So changes the supply dynamics, especially with all of the burns and buybacks and stuff that we've done here so far, and will continue doing too.
Thank you very much. So, basically, um, your token will be MMF or a kind of, how would I call it now, derivative of MMF.
So our main token is XShare. So XShare is a total supply of 100 million. As soon as you go to the website, you'll see XShare and all the metrics there, like market cap, circulating supply, total supply, and what have you. Included in some of the synthetics that we're going to come out with. We may or may not come out with an MMF synthetic. Again, it's a lot of these things will be community driven, so that could be even something that the community may want to vote on or get some feedback on. Right now, we have basically in the Q4 lineup, we have multiple things coming to include some other synthetic assets, two in particular. But we'll hold on. We'll keep that close to the vest for now. And then we have our own kind of plan of coming out with some developments, but it'll be a lot going on here in Q4.
Thank you very much. So, where can we get the egg share apart from your website or your DApp?
So as soon as you go to the DApp, you'll see the buy button. It'll take you to the Poly MMF DEX, and we're whitelisted on the DEX, so you'll be able to trade straight from there, low fees and all that stuff included.
Yeah, that just happened, right? Because I had you guys in there from copy and pasting last week, but I noticed yesterday that the logo popped up, and I was like, "Let's go! This feels good."
Yep. Yep, just happened, man. Just happened. We've always, if you've been in the Discord, or really anyone who's been in the Discord, I think Anya was in here earlier, and a few of our other Discord members. Oh, she's still in here. Anya, what's up, bro? Um, but they've known that we've been working on that. We have a few other things that we have coming, and so whitelist was just the first of many. So we've been in communication with the MMF team, and we'll be working on a lot here, man. So this is just we're just kind of laying the groundwork. When we actually do have like developments in succession, we want to make sure that all of the groundwork is laid right. We users can trade at low slippage. We have the liquidity and all those things set aside, and the emissions would have gone down. All those things, we want to have all the groundwork laid, so that way, when it's time for users to come in, all they have to do is just take advantage of the platform. I mean, of course, you can even do that now, but there's still a lot, that we have coming here.
Thank you very much. And sorry, Alpha. So, what's the best game plan now with this play? No
I
financial advice and all, but just body to bodies, jungle farm to jungle farm.
Yeah, I mean, I like that's what I was just saying is what I've been doing is playing the ratio between XShare and MMF, Poly. Um, like Chill was saying, I I didn't get all the way out of HKN, but it reminds me of what I do with HKN MMF on the Crow side. You know, like um, when it's under 1.1, I'm swapping HKN for MMF, and when it's up higher, right, like 1.4, I'm swapping MMF for HKN, and I'm throwing that in the pools that are earning like it's still earning like 250 to make poly MMF, and they said that was where we were going to mine the majority of poly MMF. So I'm just sticking with my original plan, but I'm also I'm taking a solid 50% of what I had in poly MMF as of last week, and I swapped that for XShare. Um, I pair as much of my rewards with USDC as possible and put that in the XShare USDC. And the thing I love the most, and I cannot stress this enough, as close to a Chronos Maxi as you can get without it being a bad thing. Like, I love the transaction fees on Polygon. If you are yield farming, if you are harvesting rewards that are under $1, which a lot of the time they are, right? A lot of people are starting small. You want to harvest multiple times a day, right? You want to be your own yield optimizer. You want to harvest and reinvest. And if they're taking 10% of your rewards through transaction fees, that sucks. That's Chronos. On Matic, I'm paying a fraction of that, and I'm loving it. I really am. What's up, Joe?
I gotta say the same thing too. The fees on Poly are kind of wild. I didn't. I mean, I know they say low fees, but on Poly even lower fees. But I know you were talking about the kind of arbitrage that you were doing with HKN. I know Thomas, we were kind of chopping it up the other day and talking about some arbitrage that you can do on our platform. We tweeted out about it a few days back, but just so everyone in here knows, when you mint AMLP, so the synthetic, when you mint it, or when you go to the website or the DApp and you see that it's over, AMLP is over the peg. So let's say it's over like 1.06. If you were to mint AMLP and then use that and swap it to MLP, you just made 6%, and you can arbitrage that and do that over and over and over and over again.
We need
So
you to, right? I mean, this is how we keep peg, and like everybody has to play their part. I
yeah,
hope
bro.
everybody sees it the same way as us, because it took me a while to get here, and that's why we run 2 shows a day. It's just it. I feel like everybody can get there, and that it's a real mindset shift. That's a benefit to yourself financially when you break out of the mindset of everything correlates to USD. Um, then you can start thinking in arbitrage like this. Like, I think of poly MMF to XShare and not their dollar values. And that gives me the freedom to do all this swapping without thinking too much.
One thing that I wanted to also just kind of highlight with the project, I said that Q4 is kind of going to be, going to be back to back for us. Honestly, every quarter from this point forward is gonna be pretty jam packed. But we have been expanding the team. We've been in talks with other projects, agencies. So we have a lot coming, and there's only so much that we can share up front right now. But I know that like every project and every founder or every team is like, hey guys, trust us. We have so much coming for you guys. So I wanted to just kind of highlight, at least give you an idea of what we have coming. So we have a few things. First, with regard to the rebase tomb fork, we have an investment vault. We have 2 cents coming, and we might sneak a little surprise in there for the community as well. Depending on how things go, like development wise and whatnot. We don't want to over promise and under deliver. If anything, we want to under promise and over deliver. That's always our goal. But just to give you an idea of the first thing coming up on the roadmap, the rebase tomb fork. Many of you guys are used to the MMF tomb forks, right? Like Savannah, HKN, and Solar. You guys are used to that. So rebase is going to be a little bit different in that it controls supply and demand. But with those typical tomb forks, they're only able to control supply on the open market, right? And then you have the bond mechanism and stuff like that. The rebase mechanism, and I've been looking into rebase heavily, and I've posted about it if any of you guys saw it via a thread. But rebase controls supply everywhere. It controls supply in the pools, farms, and even in the user wallets. Now, I know that sounds kind of sketch, but hear me out here. You still own the same percentage of the total supply. So the total supply, or the circulating supply, I should say, constantly adjusts, right? So if it's over the price target, in the case of a popular rebase token called Ampleforth, they've been doing this for years. But the rebase mechanism, the target there is a dollar USD. So if it's above the dollar USD peg, you get more tokens in your wallet, right? And so it's adding, and the rebase schedule is every day, so you're getting more tokens every single day if you're above peg, right? And then
I'm glad you
inversely,
brought those two up. I hate to interrupt because I know you're on
nah,
a
go
roll,
go.
but it reminds me that like that's where I was a year and a half ago. I was buying Ample and Forth in Coinbase, and I didn't know what the fuck they were, man. I didn't know what rebase was. I didn't know what an algorithmic stablecoin was. I didn't know what liquidity pools were. So it's really interesting to me because I think we got to remember that people are on all levels of understanding down there, and that's just a trip to me because like I can't believe I was buying those on Coinbase and they were the two tokens in an algorithmic stablecoin, and now I understand how those things work. And it's like, bro, I was just like, this one's going up, buy it. That one's going down, sell it. That was me a year and a half ago, bro. It's pretty crazy.
The journey, it's the journey, bro. Just learning, progressing. Nah, I hear you. A year and a half ago, same here. I was like, I had no idea, what
Now I
DeFi
got
was.
algorithmic stable coins up the yin yang, bro. I'm holding dark G. I'm holding light G. I'm a mess.
Castano Arts, bro. I saw your hand up, man. Yeah, what's up? Talk to me, bro.
Yo, man, how you guys doing?
We're good, bro. Good. Welcome up.
Actually, I actually see, I can hear you guys actually like a little bit of chilling. I'm not really sure you're talking about Spaceship X and the rest. So, if you're actually talking about that, I would actually like to ask a question about Spaceship X. Presently, I really don't know if okay, normally, let me put it this way. Normally, people are always asking about that. Okay, your market strategy for every like NFT platform or something like that. But I would like to say like mostly is really about getting the the market, like getting the investors to actually get your stocks before actually going for marketing and all sorts of things like that. I don't know if you understand me.
Yeah, I understand you, bro. Understand. So just
Yeah.
to kind of put it in perspective, like I know we were kind of talking about this earlier too. You know, what we're doing now, we're laying the groundwork for all of our future investment, our future developments, right? So we've launched, we've been heavily involved in our community and just making sure we're taking feedback, we're adjusting UI, we're making things. We even have a couple features coming out to make it easier to get in and out of some of these pools and what have you. So we are in tune with everything going on with the community and pain points, things that we can fix, make it easier for investors to use the DApp. So we're lowering the barrier of entry, but at the same time, realize that with our project or our protocol overall, we're a synthetics platform. There's $500 million in a bear market worth of demand for synthetics right now. Why? I really don't care. There are users out there that want these synthetics. There's demand out there for them.
Yeah.
We're creating another avenue to basically provide access to these synthetics. Right now, over 90% of the market is dominated by the platform Synthetics. So SNX is their main token. What they do, Synthetics, in terms of the synths, is basically similar to what we're doing. However, although we're a synthetics platform to everyone, we have other generating or revenue boosting aspects to our ecosystem. So while we're building demand and taking market share from synthetics, we're actually going to be building some other things on the back end to again give our users more value, give our community more value. And ultimately, what we're doing is building our protocol on real yield, right? So synthetics had to pivot to real yield. Now that DeFi is changing and maturing, we're looking to build it from the start. Now, obviously, with things like liquidity mining and stuff like that, that's going to be going on for about a year. But
Yeah, yeah.
that doesn't mean it's gonna take us a year to get to real yield. We're working on that right now, and it starts with what I was talking about earlier. That rebase tomb fork. That's our gateway to real yield, not the tomb fork itself, but the rebase token. And I was explaining a lot about that, and I'll kind of get back to that once I finish answering your question. But
Okay.
that's what our plan is for our project.
Okay. That's very like very good. And as I actually feel that mostly right now in the market, like what you said, it's actually like yield farming, liquid mining, and some other things like that. It's actually what that actually going up in the market right now. So that's just it. I really love your projects. You guys are doing well. Keep it up.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. For all you guys out there, bro, who've read, I think I see like RJam in here, Doug, Meerhoff, Mintz. I know you guys have kind of like read about my adventures in Rebase, but for all of you guys that haven't, with Rebase, it's so crazy because what you're doing now is you're pivoting away from the market. You're no longer dependent on is BTC in a bull market, is the macro bearish. It doesn't really matter because our ecosystem will be completely dependent on the wave, if you will, of our rebase token. So these waves are created, like I was mentioning earlier, whether the peg is above the price target or below the price target. Like I was mentioning earlier, above the price target, you're getting more tokens because the supply is expanding everywhere. So if you're getting more tokens, that means your LP value would increase. That means your farms would increase. That means the rebase token in your wallet would increase as well. And keep in mind that when it comes to maintaining peg, the rebase token is completely different than your average tomb fork or your average mechanism of using an algorithm to maintain a peg. We're using the simple mechanics of supply and demand. Very easy to maintain peg that way. Now, with our rebase tomb fork, we're actually going to, if you're going below peg, the inverse is also the same. So you're going to there's going to be less tokens in your wallet, but at the same time, you're still maintaining the same percentage ownership of the entire network, right? And it's a floating peg, right? So there's going to be times when it's below peg, but we're also putting in mechanisms to make sure we mitigate that downside. So, for example, some of you guys might have heard of Champion Finance. One innovative thing they did with with their rebase below peg, they've put in place a sell tax. The lower it is below peg, the higher the sell tax is. So this discourages selling, and we're able to actually use the sell tax to buy back X share off the open market, or even buy back the rebase token, or even form more protocol own liquidity, do buyback and burns. That opens up another gateway for us on top of the mechanism that is so good at maintaining peg. We have other things in place. We don't just want to put all of our eggs in one basket, right? So we have other mechanisms in place to be able to maintain that peg. So what does that mean for you as the user? You're able to enjoy APR in a bull or bear market, right? Because again, we're not dependent on BTC. We're not dependent on the macro markets to determine the direction of our project now. And the Tomb Fork really is just the first phase. I wanted to just kind of put some information, some insights out there. But the rebase token and the Tomb Fork is just the first phase of our rebase token. And I can't talk too much about what we have planned next, but I'll tell you two words. Productivity rebase. And I just want to say that so that way, again, I know DeFi teams all the time. They're like, oh man, we have things coming in the future. But, really, there's really nothing there. But, hear me out when I say that we have things coming. And I just wanted to, hint at that a little bit. So you actually have some words to hold me to in the future.
Yeah, and we saw what happened with Terra Luna and algorithmic stablecoins this year. So don't trust the algorithm, and don't let CDC be your daddy. Marker, welcome. What's up? You got a question? Tough crowd.
Rugged.
Hello, sir. Sir, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. Go for it.
Sir, my question here is about this.
My question is that too many projects promise magic but never release any working product or prove any revenue within a short or long time of release. Is your project also like this? If not, can you tell us what makes your project different from other? Thank you.
Yeah, sure, sure. So just to answer your question, kind of going back to what we were stating earlier, we're being built on real yield, right? We're attracting users through the APRs for now. Our project is barely a week old, so keep that in mind as well. So if you're hearing this and you're jumping into a farm or an LP or whatever, just know that you're not even a week after launch, barely. So these APRs are, again, just to attract new users. We're not relying on them for the long term. Long term is going to be real yield. And like I said earlier, that rebase token is going to be our gateway into real yield. Now, again, because of the dynamics, I can't mention too much, but I'll give you this. There is a project that will be and I'm trying not to share too much, man, because I know Thomas is gonna kill me or something. Thomas, just chill. Um, but basically, Rebase is going to you'll see some projects that are coming out here soon. Basically, Rebase will be used. There is Rebase tokens that can be supplied that can give users real yield, right? So there are projects out there that we will basically use. We'll use our investment vault. We'll use our rebase tokens. Users will be able to use the rebase tokens as well, not only for the investment vault, but to directly go out to some of these other projects. But basically, we will invest in a basket of real yield protocols through other, again, we're in talks with a few projects, and we can't say too much, but we will basically invest in a basket of real yield protocols. Real yield means that, there are other projects making real money, right? They're not giving you paying out, they're not paying something out in, their native token or something like that. You're getting USDC in your wallet. You're claiming USDC on your rewards, right? And so through things like the investment vault and through things like our rebase token, you will be able to receive that same real yield. And so that's something important to keep in mind. But projects like Synthetics, GMX, Gains, and there's so many others out there. There's not really a need for every protocol. There's not really a need for every protocol to make a whole ton of real yield up front. So there's not that pressure to, oh man, token emissions, to our users, when we can go out and have a basket of these real yield protocols that will basically boost our revenue for us. And that's the innovative part of our project. We're really relying on real yield to feed that value back into our business, if you really want to call it that, because that's kind of how our approach is. But we're feeding that value back to our business, back to our users, back to our token holders, and eventually our NFT holders when that drops. So this isn't just another project that'll give you a whole bunch of their native tokens. Our native token X share will be used as a community driven, governance proposal piece. So that way you can actually, steer the project a little bit yourself.
That's dope, man. It's really cool to learn about this stuff with you guys, because real yield is something I heard for the first time when MMF started talking about it as a transitionary thing. Like, they were transitioning from this emissions-based protocol on the Chronos side to, the way I understand it, a more real yield-based system on Polygon. Now, I didn't know everything that they were talking about, but it sounded a lot like what you were just saying, and I liked what I was hearing. It was, what I took out of it was MLP would be a safer, maybe lower return but safer yield on MMF, and I bought into MLP slowly. And when I saw what you guys were doing when you first put me onto it, I was like, that was another reason, right? Like, I knew you, Chill, and I trusted your judgment, and I liked that the pieces of MMF that you guys had taken were the real yield, the MLP, and you were talking that same talk. So like, I'm just honest with everybody about my levels of understanding, and hopefully that's helpful to them. I'm trying here.
And you're doing a good job, bro. You're doing a good job. And one thing I wanted to see if we can bring the light a little bit, Thomas, bro. Up to you. I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot. Don't kill me later. Would you want to tell them a little bit more about the synths that we have coming later here in Q4?
So yeah, so first, the first thing I want to talk about the investment vault. This is the crucial key player of the protocol, because so I would like to explain a bit about it, about how it is gonna work. So in basically, right, so user mined synth, they're gonna lock up collateral, like if they are mined a MLP, they're gonna lock up MLP, right? So the investment fund will use that locked MLP to invest to another like protocol like MMF. We can like directly stake our MLP back to MMF, earn reward, and distribute back to like ex shareholders. So that way, it will benefit both AMLP and ex shareholders, because ex shareholders is gonna like is gonna earn uh, the generated profit from the investment round. That will create a good demand for X share, and the higher the demand, the more stable of the X share, and the more yield for the SINs holders. So in that way, we're gonna focus on the popular token to create synthetic for the popular token, so it can like attract more users, we attract more collateral, and we can invest more and generate even we can generate more profit with investment vault, and so that create a value for its shareholders. Yeah.
So one of our first synths that we're going to drop is going to be USDC, right? So that means you can come in to our platform, you can mint a USDC synthetic, which means you're basically getting, let's say you're holding, let's say you're saving your money for the buy the dip opportunity in the bear market, and you have like 30 to 50% of your portfolio in stables. You're not really getting anything on those stables, so you use your stables, you mint some USDC, and you're able to generate additional yield on your stables through the liquidity mining that we have now, and then also through the real yield components that we have coming here in the next in Q4 and beyond. So that's a real value that we can provide for users, because you're still holding the same stables, whether that be in a 3% APY staking mechanism on some, on like Aave or something like that, or you're just holding it in your wallet or in like crypto.com or something. But if you stick that into our platform, you're now able to earn, a higher APR through our liquidity mining and through our real yield components, and by just holding the same value. So those are some things that we have coming, and I just wanted to kind of showcase that a little bit. But I see Not Base had his hand up. I appreciate you for waiting on me to plug that one in, bro. How are you? Yeah, welcome up. Talk to me.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, I just was looking over your platform and listening, and I hear a lot of people saying that they want new users and just to grab a market share from other places. And I really think after looking at her, I kind of had an idea. I hopped off my forklift real quick to say, I was like, why don't any of these swaps, or like the one that I just went on to your spaceship finance, like a tutorial for new users, like where nothing really happens, but if you're experienced, you can skip the tutorial, but it could walk you through like the arbitration, what it looks like on a user side.
I love that idea. I got to shout out Dark Crypto on Kronos for being the first ones I saw to force a tutorial down your throat when you go on the site. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I stopped going over there because it pissed me off. I kept clicking the thing that said, don't show me again. And every time I signed on, it still showed it to me. I'm like, bro, I know what I'm doing. But I do dig that idea.
Yeah, I'm happy that you mentioned that. Good question. We actually hosted an AMA yesterday as well. And again, we're in tune with our community and with feedback, and that's something that we've heard. And so as a result of that feedback, that's actually something that we're taking home and we're working on. So, expect some sort of expect something to drop. Again, we have a lot of developments coming. So we're gonna try to see where we can fit that in, but it's gonna be it's going to be included, that type of tutorial that will appeal to new users. Right now, just with synthetics, what I've noticed with the markets, with the market demand for synthetics, they come from a more experienced DeFi user base, right? And especially with these higher APRs up front, we're appealing to some of those experienced degens as well. So up front, we didn't. That's something that we didn't think about, but after hearing that feedback from the community, that actually could be an opportunity for us. Is what our thoughts were on it, where we can not only appeal to the more experienced DeFi users like Synthetics does, but we can also appeal to some of the newer users as well, and we can even bring in a new demographic to the Synthetics market. So again, a lot of things that we've noticed here from the community, and things that we want to plug into our project to just make it more innovative, more fresh, and again lowering the barrier of entries for users. So appreciate you for saying that, bro.
Yeah, no problem. Actually, I just think that that's great. Like, if a user could come in and see like arbitration looks like, that's great. They can see all I have to do is buy at this price and sell at this price, and I can make a decent living. You know, that's going to draw in investors from any platform.
Man, so true, man.
I really like the way
Um,
he said it too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And this is the whole purpose of these AMAs, is to, bring people together and just kind of feed ideas off of each other. And that's something that we could even include in the messaging. That's something that we could even, use to appeal to newer users. So now I really appreciate you for doing that. And Voodoo in the audience too. I saw your message, bro. I'm hoping that the real yield component explanation explained that for you. He asked what was the difference between our project and Time Wonderland. I think Time really different than our project, especially the way things worked out for them. But they did a lot of token emissions like many other DAOs did, and we're focused on real yield. So hopefully that made sense to you.
Yeah, what is it about that project that didn't work out so well?
It's crazy, man. So they're the one of their team members. I don't know if he was the founder or what have you. I think it was just like a team member that was brought on, because I think the main project founder, I think his name was like Daniel or something. Everyone loved him. Great dude, great personality. Was in there with the community. He tried to save it, but basically it came out that one of the team members rugged an entire exchange, taking away like hundreds of millions. I think it was like 286 like $1 million of user funds permanently lost. No one, like, he basically took it, fell off the face of the earth, and that was that. And it found and when he surfaced again, he came back to Time Wonderland. He was in control of their entire treasury, I think. And correct me anyone if I'm wrong, because I haven't looked into this nearly as deep enough as I should have. But that's basically, I think, what was the case. Like, everyone found out, like, holy crap. And I think his name was Sifu. Yeah, I think that Sifu was his name. And I think
You're
that's how, like, the whole meme thing got started.
yeah, you're right. And he went on to be part of that project post that. But I think the real downfall for Time Wonderland was the issue that they had with Abracadabra. Abracadabra is a lending protocol on Avalanche, and what they were allowing was, because you would stake your time, and in return for your time that's being staked, and they had like the whole Lambo calculator and everything, where you would put some money in and then it would calculate how many Lamborghinis you would have in a year. That should have been the first sign. But anyways, they would then you would get wrap memo back, and that's what you were holding. So it was a rebase token, but the difference between time token and wrap memo, um, the time you would get more tokens with wrap memo, you would gain more value, which kind of helped out with the emissions once they switched over to wrap memo. But I think it was too little too late anyways. But then the nail in the coffin was Abracadabra. So on Abracadabra, you would be able to take your rap memo, bring it to Abracadabra, and put it up as collateral on a loan. And it was a degen play on top of a degen play. It allowed people to gamble with the money that they were staking on Time Wonderland, and it just became a complete downfall because once you lost your money in Abracadabra, Abracadabra was not going to hold on to that stuff. They turned around and liquidated. So you had huge amounts of liquidations happening at a time uh, because of these basically loan contracts that were coming up for I forget what the wording is, but they were coming due, right? Um, the Sifu thing did not help them at all. They voted him out and then tried to vote him back in, which is ironic. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of things but it was basically an investment fund. So you would give time your money, and in return, they would take it and invest into other protocols where they were just yielding income from all kinds of protocols all across Avalanche and Phantom, right? So for a while, it was working well, and people were making a ton of money on that protocol. But that was like my experience last fall, winter with rebase tokens, and I've pretty much tried to stay away from them since because of that experience. But yeah, that's why I was asking, because it sounded very similar. I'm just wondering what were the differences, and obviously you were experienced with that whole protocol. So what were you doing to kind of like correct from the downfall of time?
Well, I'll tell you one thing that we're doing. We're not hiring Sifu. But basically, rebase, the way our rebase token is going to work, and that's why we've introduced the tomb fork aspect of it. They kind of their way of introducing it was in terms of a rebase in the form of a DAO. But I think the types of rebase tokens we're talking about are two completely different types. Like you have the rebase tokens that they'll yield like, 60, 70,000% APY or something like that. And I know Time and all the other DAOs that I got wrecked by last year, they all were offering like ridiculous APYs, right? With our
That same thing
investment
with
vault.
Phoenix, right? Like Phoenix was a
Yes,
rebase right
man.
here, and it was 66666, and I was like, wait a
Yep.
second, bro. And they
And
just switched to a V2 like yesterday.
man, I try not to like, because the some of my community members have been like, yo, like check out Phoenix, and like I did a thread on them actually, like when they first came out, and I was just like, hey, look, like I understand that you guys have like some innovative aspects to your project, like where you're doing this KYC service and stuff like that, but then you also have 66K percent APY. Like you have thousands of percentage of APY that you have to give out to other people. Like I don't really see how that's sustainable for, like, think of it as a business. Like your first year, you're starting up, and anyone who helps you to build your business, you're telling them, hey, I'm going to give you 66,000% on what you've given me. And in a first year, I just wasn't sure, like, how was that like a sustainable way of like presenting your project. And a lot of people are saying like, hey, look, like I get more tokens for my NFTs, and like and I get it, but like I'm gonna have to look into it again and kind of refresh myself on things that they've changed to see if it's truly like sustainable. But like after looking into it that first time, I literally did a thread, and I was just like, hey guys, just be careful. I didn't say it was bad, I didn't say it was good. I just said I'm gonna stay away from it, and you guys, if you guys choose to do it, y'all be careful. And I think I don't know. The team spoke with me, and I actually spoke with them and told them like my honest thoughts on it. But they were like really adamant about like, hey, look, like we're different. We don't do the same thing. And I'm like, hey, man, like, look, I'm not gonna down your project or anything like that. So that's why I just said, hey, look, just be cautious if you're in it. Keep your head on a swivel. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna stay
it's
away
hard, man,
personally.
because we're all
Yeah.
friends, really. I mean, we've been here a long time, and it's like We're not trying to throw shade on anyone. We're all trying to figure out the best way to work these things. And yeah, I hate seeing anything go to a V2, you know, because we talk about it in Coffee and Crow and the Jungle. It's like, it's just tough, man. It's it really comes down to people when we boil it all down. You know, we've got these algorithms, they didn't work. We got these rebasing structures. Sometimes they work. In the end, as long as someone doesn't fucking run away with the money, like, we're all gonna be fine. Okay, the Mashinskis and the Do Kwons and even the smaller guys like Sifu's and like all these guys that ran off with the good part really fucked it up for us. But at the same time, we know that we're sitting on something good. Like, it's got to work. It's got to work.
And that's the thing, man. Like, there's like right now, one thing that I really love about the space. Yeah, it's a bear market. A lot of things aren't looking as great. But the innovation we got in this bear market was real yield, bro. That changed the game. We got two things actually. We got the ETH benchmark yield rate. So now institutions are coming in and they have models now where they can value the risk, and they can value or rather they can evaluate the risk and give intrinsic value and measure the fair value of a project or a cryptocurrency. And so with the ETH merge and real yield, that pushed DeFi into a completely new era. So there are projects now that can kind of play with this real yield aspect because the protocols are there, the revenue is there. So you can use that revenue in so many different ways, whether you want to funnel that back into your own project to reinvest into yourself and your business, whether you want to give, value back to token holders or value back to like NFT holders or your community. You can do that. And there's so much you can do to play with it now. But you saw the way crypto played with token emissions. That was token emissions, bro. Out of token emissions, we had the LP, we had LPs, we had DAOs, we had tomb forks, we had so many rebase tokens like the 66666 with the Phoenix Finance, those types of rebates. So we had so many things that we flipped with token emissions. Imagine what we're going to flip with when we're playing with real money. This is actual real funds, real revenue being generated. So I think that's where we're at the forefront of, like, not necessarily like we're on the cutting edge of that. Like, we realize the opportunity is there, and we're going to lay the groundwork now to take advantage of the opportunity that's ahead of us. Right. So that's why we're putting in place things like the investment vault. We're putting in, the rebase token, not the high APY rebase token, but the rebase token in terms of the mechanism to maintain a price target, which is going to be extremely, extremely good for us and easy to maintain peg. But that's why we're doing all these things now. So that way, when these other innovations come to light, we're able to take advantage of them. And Alpha, I really appreciate you getting us into this space and putting this on for us. So I'm gonna drop just a quick, innovative project. And I'm not shilling here. This project, it's called EFI, okay? With rebase tokens, we already talked about it. When you're above price target, you get extra tokens. When you're below price target, you give away tokens, right? So this project, and I can link it if you want, but this project basically creates a vault where you can drop in a rebase token. So let's say like Ample, like we were talking about earlier. If it's above price target, if it's below price target rather, it will mint its token. It'll mint its token called EFI. And I had the project founder on my spaces a few weeks ago. So this is how I came across some of this information, just networking and whatnot. But basically, below price target, it will mint EFI. So you're getting EFI basically look at it as you're DCAing the low. You're buying the dip, but you aren't doing it. The project is doing it for you. The protocol is minting you EFI below the dip. Now, once you get above the price target, it's then burning EFI. And again, these rebases take place every single day. So it's burning EFI daily. So with your extra, when you put your rebase token in the vault, when the supply is going down, the project is minting you tokens. When the supply is above target, it is using the extra tokens you get to burn the token that it gave you. So now you're getting increased value as an end user. I'm hoping this comes across, because this is just one of the smallest looks into some of the other, like there's so much innovation ahead of us. There are projects that are being built right now we don't even know about yet. There are going to be other narratives, just like DeFi Summer, just like DAOs, just like tomb forks and layer ones and everything. There are other innovation and narratives ahead of us, and we have to first know where to look. So when I tell you look to rebase, look to real yield, look to those narratives, because out of that will come the next generation of that project.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Voodoo, what's up, man?
I'm just trying to see if I understand this correctly. So, in theory, if you're holding a rebase token that is gradually uh, going up with some slight downturns here and there, in theory, what this would allow you to do is minimize your losses, because you're basically canceling them out with the other token buying and burning for you on your behalf. But retain the value of your original token. So it's almost like an insurance policy on a rebase token, right?
Absolutely. Basically, you're
Assuming the
minimizing.
token gradually goes up, right? Assuming the token gradually goes up over a term, right? It will balance out those huge gains and huge losses in between by zeroing it out for you.
So one thing to keep in mind too, it all depends on the rebase token that you're depositing into the vault. In terms of ample, it's pegged to the 2019 US dollar. So it's always going to hover around $1. So you're not going to have to worry about the up and down sides of the ample token. But yes, it will cover, in the case of other rebase tokens that you deposit, it will it will um, it will lower the downside. It would decrease the effects of your downside, so minimize the downside, and will amplify your upside through real yield. So it will mint tokens to minimize your downside and use real yield to maximize or amplify your upside. Hopefully that makes sense.
No,
I want to
I
make
get
sure.
it. I'm just trying to wrap my head around how the math works. They figured this out. This is like it's basically like insurance on. If I was to use it for a higher risk token, not like Ample, but like something like Time, for example, it would be like, I wish this was around like a year ago. It'd be like insurance on, and it's not 100%, but it would definitely have reduced my losses on Time 1 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And rebase is it's definitely, something where you have to really like wrap your mind around it. So I completely understand. It actually took me, a couple days to like I the first day I started doing the research, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I just closed the laptop. I just walked away from it. And then I came back the next day and I read it again. And I'm like, okay, this is starting to make sense now. So it's definitely like a higher barrier of entry. But yeah, like once you actually wrap your head around the ample styled rebase token where it has a price target, that definitely, that definitely will create, just a whole other it'll just create a whole nother world for you, because really what it is, it's creating tokens like Ample, for example. They're creating a wave, and I've mentioned this in threads. I'll briefly mention it here. um, when you have a token that is increasing and decreasing supply, Essentially, that's the job of a central bank. Central banks around the world, they put money into the system, they take money out of the system. And I mean, they do other things too, but just for the sake of this example. So when they put money into the system, they're expanding the economy. When they're taking money out of the system, like they're doing now, they're effing us. But no, they're constricting the economy. So in the same way, Ample is doing the same. Above a price target, it's expanding. Below the price target, it's contracting. So now you're creating your own wave, if you will, your own market cycle. See, the way the central banks do it, there's a lot of human involvement, there's a lot of corruption and government and politics and blah blah blah. Now with Ample, it's completely computer code. It's all just code. So it'll expand and contract when it's supposed to. And the reason why it doesn't happen with the central banks is because all the politics going on. So in this case, we're basically creating a market cycle for crypto overall. And the way I look at our rebase token is we're bringing a market cycle on a smaller level, not necessarily to crypto, but to our own ecosystem, to our own project. We're bringing our own wave, our own market cycle that we'll be able to build off of, right? And that's really what Ample is doing for the entire crypto space, where we are basically able to decouple from the entire, traditional finance world and operate completely on our own. As soon as people catch on to this, it'll start to click. But right now it's just taking a while. And what I'll do is I'll reference that thread too, because it really just kind of breaks it down in a way that's easier to understand, and you can bookmark it or come back to it or whatever.
Bro, your threads are fire. If you guys aren't following, chill on yourself. Honestly, you're not doing yourself any favors. Like, hit the fucking notification bell on tweets at least, because bro breaks it down. Yeah, that's facts, man.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to find it now. Man, I forgot. Like that was like a week or two ago, I guess. But yeah, I'll
Nah, it's
get
a
it.
lot of
And
threads, bro. You gotta like, things are happening so fast, and like, we need more people doing what you do. We need more of you down there to really believe in yourselves as writers, because there's no one to write this content for us. There's no one that fucking understands it. So if you can put it into words and type it in your native language, please, thank you, por favor. Like, let's go. This shit gets me fired up, dude. Like, in my normal spaces, this is what I talk about every day since I was 10 years old. I fucking hated banks. I didn't know why, but like, we can do what they do better, and I fucks with it.
yeah, bro. I hear you. I hear you. I'm on the same wave, and all these different learnings, all these different principles, and I marked the thread up top if you guys want to bookmark it and check it out later. But all of this is what we're incorporating into SpaceShipX Finance. So this isn't just your run-of-the-mill DeFi project. It's just kind of like after some type of cash grab or something like that. There's no narrative that we're like just trying to build off of. There's nothing. We're literally, we're building a synthetics protocol with innovative ways of boosting our revenue. And we're able to funnel that revenue, that boosted revenue, back to token holders. So back to X shareholders and eventually, NFT holders as well. So this isn't your run of the mill project. This is something that we're really doing to benefit our community. And you can come into our Discord. We just did our Telegram today because the demand for Telegram is there. So hop into the community, engage. We'll be doing, things like giveaways, contests. We'll do AMAs, and I'll say something here as well, Alpha, because your name is Alpha. I want to. Me and Thomas, we were talking about this. I believe it was like yesterday or maybe last week or whenever. We talk all the time. But we want to drop some Alpha in one of your spaces in the coming weeks. And what we want to do is we want to encourage the community to hop into these AMAs, because this is where you meet everyone. This is where, people ask questions. You can really get a good sense of, where the project is going, the type of people that you have leading. I mean, of course, we'll do giveaways and stuff, so that will be cool. But on top of the giveaway, we want to feed the community with extra value through the different things that they learn about in these spaces, in these AMAs. And we want to make sure that anytime, we come out with something huge for the community, we do it, with the community. So, expect if any of you ever see us on a spaces from this point forward, you're going to want to hop into that space. We'll probably do something at, like, toward the end or something like that. But just letting everyone know right now, you're going to want to hop into any of the spaces that you see us in. Because if we are doing a spaces, that means we're dropping alpha. And if we're doing it with alpha, we're definitely dropping alpha. You feel me?
So don't be trying to hop in, hop out. We're here for the gusto, man. We're trying to keep it raw. NFT God, what's up, baby?
Hey, bro, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Lay it on me.
I just want to ask one thing. What kind of benefits other than rebases holders can expect in the near future? Like, what's your future plans and other pipelines? That's my question.
Yeah, sure. So we have a few things coming here in Q4. We kind of talked about it, like the rebase tune fork. We talked about the investment vault, a few other cents, maybe even a little surprise feature, depending on how things go. But Thomas, did you want to talk about, like the VE share, the NFTs that we have coming in like Q1 next year, or Q1, Q2 ish?
Oh yeah, sure about it. Um, so currently, so recently we have a tweet about the upcoming Q4, and for the further roadmap, we have already decided that we will have a DEX. We are going to build a DEX, a VE share model, and NFTs. And about the DEX, why we're gonna launch it, because after the X share token emission ends, we definitely at that time we have a few more scenes, and we want to build an index that can so user can easily trading scenes, like so in that way we can now we can create more scenes, and with more synthetic token, X-share token will have more utilities, and with a DEX with liquidity mining incentive, like PancakeSwap or MMF Finance, we have a good incentive to holding back the synth holders. Yeah. So the fourth and furthermore is the VE share model. So if you guys know about the VECRV curve, they so we basically follow the VECVR model. So the more period they lock, the more V share they're gonna get, and of course, the V shareholders gonna have right to vote on our and on our protocol, and uh, and what what will benefit the VE shareholders. Um, the profit generated from the investment round will be directly go to the VE shareholders. Yeah, so actually they gonna earn long-term revenue. And about the NFT, in um is a story of about a year since today. So yeah, when we expand the team, we expand more like 1 or 2 dev, and we have an art artist for this. We will develop the and release the NFT collection.
And that's just kind of like surface level of what we have coming next
Well, we're having all types of audio
year.
issues here, and we haven't even broken 50 people. Are you getting rugged?
No,
I'm
I think
getting
I'm good. I think I'm
audio.
good.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Wavy can't hear nothing. Don't fuck with me. Cause I've been trying to get Brave up here. This is like the 4th time. How we doing, Brave? Is the mic working? Go ahead. You don't gotta raise your hand. The other button, the mic button, bottom left.
Man, I have another question. Can I ask?
Oh yeah, man. Go ahead.
I see that you have you're going to launch as uh, you're going to act as a launch pad in coming Q4, right?
Yep, that's correct. Yep.
So what kind of projects you're gonna uh, launch in your project, like any gaming projects?
Yeah, so right now, the focus of the Launchpad is going to the first Launchpad will be an in-house project, which will be that rebase tomb fork that we referenced, and we'll slowly. Again, we're in talks with a few projects, but at the same time, we don't want to just launch anything, right? We want to make sure that anything that we do launch, something that would benefit the community and things of that nature. So, even things that are launching from the Launchpad they may come slower, but that's just for the sake of value, right? We don't just want to just launch something just for the sake of it. At the same time, we're planning on doing things to help bring more value to X shareholders. So if projects add utility for X share, or they Thomas talked about the VE share voting escrow model that we have coming early next year in Q1. If they were to lock up tokens long term, or they provide extra utility for X share, we would actually give them additional things like marketing services, consulting, advising services. Will even as eventually give even developer resources as well to help them develop projects. So that incentivizes projects to come to us for launch, because we can help them, bootstrap a community, bootstrap liquidity, bootstrap resources, and then on top of that, we're in doing so giving value back to our token holders, and eventually, things like airdrops for NFT holders and stuff like that. All of that will come into play, but again, we want to make sure that number one, these projects are serious. These projects that come to us, they're not just short term chasing trends type of thing. So we want to be very careful with how we do this. And again, this rebase is just the first phase of our rebase token. So the next phase that's coming next year is an additional benefit on top of the investment vault that we'll be able to provide to incentivize these token lockups in the VE share model. So more on that soon as we get closer to a lot of these things dropping. But again, like we have so much we have so much that we have planned. We don't want to just give everything out, right? We want to make sure that that we tell you about it so you expect it, but at the same time, we give ourselves time to develop and whatnot. So
Nice, man. And about your decks, I think I hope it will be the user-friendly one. Congrats, LFG, man.
LFG, my dude. Appreciate you coming up here. It is 1:00. I don't know how long we're running this thing.
Thanks for giving opportunity, Alpha. Thank you.
For sure, man.
Absolutely, bro. I mean, honestly, it's been a great spaces so far, for us to showcase what we have. So we appreciate everyone for coming through. We'll actually be randomly picking for the giveaway. Um, Alpha, did you want to do that, or do you want me to do that? I can do it, but I would just need a chance to like see who liked and RT'd and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, man, that's all you. That's
Got you.
$100, you guys. So I hope you liked and retweeted because you've been here an hour and a half. What have you been doing? Twiddling your thumbs. Last chance, and it's done. No, I'm kidding. You like it and retweet it. This is a recorded space. That's how we like to do it. We got a lot of people that listen back, more people than show up. So showing up means you are entered. So that's good on you guys for being here. But make sure you like it, retweet it, and get it out to everybody else. Cause we told you at the beginning, this is not a paid AMA. We're just doing this for you guys. So I'm digging what SpaceShipX is doing, and I'm really psyched that we could make time to do this.
All right. After two tries, we have our winner. Uh, in the audience, Rimkus.
Let's
It's all you, bro.
go! All
It's
right.
all it's all you, bro.
They still haven't given me a damn soundboard, but I can do it with my mouth. Bro, that's dope. Rimkus, our
Rimkus, man,
guy.
congrats. I'm going to if you can DM me your wallet address, so that way we can get the giveaway funds out to you. But congrats, bro. Appreciate you showing up. You liked, you RT'd, and you listened. So we appreciate you.
That's all you got to do, y'all. Actually, I lied. You got to drink some water. You got to brush your teeth. You got to own your keys if you want to own your crypto. This is DeFi, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever forget that shit. Don't tell your seed phrase to anybody. That is ludicrous. Just write it down. Pen on paper, put it someplace safe, put it in a safe, and then show someone else how to do this. Tell them about what we do here. It's hard to explain, right? What is this? A global interactive daily podcast on topics that few understand. But invite them. It can be fun. You can win $100. Bing bong, fuck your life. We're out of here. I'm gonna go over to Shillinville in space and see if they'll let me up today. Been a pleasure, y'all. Peace.
Appreciate everyone for joining. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yes, sir.